Hi, April. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Rise. Come on in. Day 11 has finally come. Hope everyone is getting ready for the big snow. Went out and got your eggs and bread and toilet paper. I think everyone in York County was at the grocery store today. Alrighty, it's 7 o'clock. I'm gonna get started. Okay. Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to our 12 Days of Christmas series. And today is day 11. And I've got a really cute and quick project for you. Really nice and simple to make. And it holds, we're just gonna pull it out like this, a little Hershey Santa. And you can get these anywhere. I've seen them at all the grocery stores. I've even seen them at the convenience stores. Hi, Deb. Welcome. And it has a little bit of a unique kind of a closing at the top that allows you to pull it out, but it doesn't fall out. And I'll show you how to make that. That's really an easy make there. So there is my cute little box. And these are the little Hershey Santas that you can get. You can get them in larger packs at the grocery store, and you can get them singly at like a convenience store. That's where I got them. So super simple to make. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, we're going to start with a piece of Pear Pizzazz. This is a piece of Pear Pizzazz cardstock cut at 5.5 by 4.5. All right, so let's go ahead and bring up my scoring board. This is a nice and simple score. On the long side, which is the 5.5 inch side, I'm going to score at 1/2, 2.5, 3, and 5. 1/2, 2.5, 3, 5. Then I'm going to turn it on the short side. And since we have our one end of our boxes open, we only have the one score line, which is at 1/2. Okay, so that is all the scoring for our cute little box. And I'm going to grab my little template here that I made. And this is what we're going for. So it really doesn't take a whole lot of cutting either, which is super nice. So let me go ahead and I'm going to grab my bone folder and fold on my score lines. Oh, you're lucky. We're going to get like a foot, April, they're telling us. So I am not a happy stamper. Well, actually I am, because then I can stay inside and stamp all day. Hi, Joanne. Welcome. All right. So there we go. There's everything is creased. Now, it really doesn't matter which end you cut because they're both exactly the same. Okay, so I'm going to go to the left-hand side here along the skinny end, and I'm going to cut off the tiny little square in the corner, and then I'm just going to wedge the sides because this is going to be the piece that goes in and fits behind the other side panel. All right, now on the bottom, we're going to cut up our score lines, the verticals, and then the squares here are going to be our little flaps. So, I'm sorry, our tabs. So I'm going to cut a little bit off each of those so those fit in nicely in our box behind the panels. Okay, these two rectangles here are going to be our bottom panels. Okay, so there we have the same. We're ready to go. Let's take that away. Now, before I put it together, I'm going to go ahead and put my designer series paper on. Okay, this is the paper that goes with the Heartwarming Hug Suite. Okay, that is this stamp set and the dies that go with it. These go with the little cups and so cute. The Heartwarming Hugs set, the stamp set is retiring, but the dies are sticking around. So that makes me think we're gonna have some new kind of dies to work with those little cup wraps. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But this one is retiring. So the paper that goes with that is this one here. And there's many different designs, but it's just very Christmassy. I think it's perfect for this little box. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use the stripe side again, like I did with my sample. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my pieces on here. Okay, now the dimensions of these side panels are 2 by 4. So I made my Designer Series paper 1 7/8 by 3 7/8. So it's a little tighter of a fit than when we do a 1/4 inch. And I noticed this little corner does not have any glue, and I will just not stand for that. All right, there we go. Now, let's going to do the same thing on the back. Going to stick with the stripe on the back, although you could always change. All right. So there we go. Now, one other thing before we put our box together, you'll notice on my sample, there's a little hole there at the top in the center of both the front and back panel. And that's where our ribbon goes through. And now you could go ahead and just use a paper punch if you'd like to, but this is a hole that gives you a little more room for your ribbon. And you've seen me use this. This is the Trio Punch, Detailed Trio Punch. There it is, Detailed Trio Punch. This is in the annual catalog, the bigger catalog. And I've used this one a lot. This is the corner rounder. Well, this one over here is the one that makes the hole. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to bring this right here and it's going to go straight in like this. Okay, and then you're just going to punch down and then you have that little hole right there at the top. Okay, it gives you a little more room than a hole punch would. So there we go. So those are the 2 holes that we're going to take our ribbon through. Okay, let me go ahead and show you quickly what the other one looks like here. It's like a little flower that you could put at the end of a card, or you can put it on a tag or something. Just a little flower like that. But this is a really great trio punch. I just love it and I use it all the time. It's always on my workspace. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the tear and tape and we're going to close up our box. Okay, so tear and tape along the side. Okay, then I'm going to grab my pick tool, grab and get that off. I'm going to turn it back over. I'm going to turn this flap here and then I can just flap that over. Push it down, and then you know you're going to have a nice square box. All right, now let's close up the bottom. Okay, I'm going to put the 2 little tiny tabs in first, and then let's see what's the front of my box. This is the front of my box, so this flap will go over last. I'll put the back one down first. I will grab my Tombow. Put a little bit of Tombow on the flap and then close it up. Okay. Turn that over. Hold it there for a minute. Get my bone folder and there we go. Okay, there is your box. That's how simple the box is. And let me show you how you get your Hershey bar to work in there. You're going to grab your ribbon here. This is double stitch satin in the real red. And you want to give yourself a good sized piece because it's going to go around the candy bar inside the box. So you want to probably make a loop. And you want to make sure you're going to have enough at the top to tie a bow. All right, I think I have enough, and I'd rather be a little off than not have enough. I mean, have a little too much. All right, before we put the Hershey bar in, we're going to take the red ribbon and we're going to feed it through both of the holes. So in through that one and out through that one. There we go. This is where the big fingers don't work so well. There we go. All right, now I'm going to pull it so that it's the same length, okay, coming out of both of the holes. Then I'm going to put my Santa Hershey bar right in there and just gently push it down into the box. And as you push it down, the ribbon works its way down to the bottom of the box as well, okay? And then what you're going to do at the top here is just tie a bow. You want to tie it pretty tightly down against your Hershey bar. And then you're going to go ahead and make your loops. Come on, loops. There we go. There we go. And a little bit of floofing makes it look fantastic. Get that one to turn over. There we go. All right, so there we go. That one's a little long. All right, I'm liking that. All right, so now you're just going to cut off a little bit of your ends. Look at that. I just had cut the right amount. All right, so now the recipient will just grab it by the knot there and pull it right up. Isn't that fun? Isn't that a fun way to open it? I love that. All right, so now let's do a little bit of decorating in the front, and you know what I'm going to use. I'm going to use my Christmas tree. I have this small little stitch die. This is from the Hippo Happiness. That's another one of my favorites. And then I'm going to be using the cute little tree image here from the Perfectly Plaid. And then, of course, I'm going to use the tree punch to punch it out. So let's go ahead. Let's slide these over here for now, and we're going to make our little three-dimensional tree. I've made several of these with my projects because I just love them. I think they just look so cute and so cheery. So I'm going to grab my Pear Pizzazz ink and I'm going to stamp them across the bottom of your page. Remember, you're going to be cutting them out with your punch, so you want to make sure you keep them low to the bottom. There are my 3 Christmas trees. Okay, now let me show you why I said you want to keep them low. Then it's easy for you to just grab your tree punch and go right down the line and punch them all out. You just turn your punch over so that you can see where the opening is. And then when you have it in a place you like, you just go ahead and squeeze. And we need one more for our 3-dimensional Christmas tree here. There we go. All right, now what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to fold them in half, okay, the long way. Now they're not perfectly symmetric, so don't worry about it being perfect, okay? We don't go perfect, you know us. We're trying to move away from that. Can't be perfect, let's not stress. All right, so I'm just gonna grab each of them and as close as I can, get them in half and make sure your little stem folds in half as well. That's probably the hardest part to get in half. Okay, you could lay it on your scoring board and put a little score line, which would probably make it easier, but I don't always go easy. So I'm going to finish up now, just folding up all my trees. This one's being a little rambunctious. Ooh, I can hear stuff outside going on. Everybody's getting ready for the snow. I'm just glad tonight is garbage night, so we don't have to deal with putting out our cans in a foot of snow. So, all right, so there are our 3 little trees. And I'm going to take my Tombow and just put a little bit on the one side of the folded tree. And I'm going to take a second one and put it right on top. And the best way to make sure it's in the right place is to make sure your folds are lined up. Okay, so you want to line up the folds and give it a good press to make sure that glue is going to stick. Now you notice here I didn't get any glue down on the trunk of the tree. Not good. You want to make sure that the trunk is glued together as well. All right, one more. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit on top of the tree that we just layered on, and here comes the last one. Okay, I've noticed that I did put some of the glue on the bottom trunk, and now I'm just going to line it up along the fold again, from the tip all the way down to the end of the trunk, and just press it and hold it for just a bit. The Tombow takes over pretty quickly. All right, I think that's it. Oops, my fingers are sticky. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to open it up, and then you have your 3-dimensional tree. Isn't that so cute? So cute. So let's go ahead and layer that on our box. I'm going to take my die cut first. This was, as I said, from the Hippo Happiness. Use these a lot. It's a great one. It's not just for hippos. Okay, I'm going to place that on my box. Then I'm going to grab a couple of dimensionals. Put them on the back right over where our folds came together. Turn it over and put it right in the center of the little die cut. Isn't that so cute? Ay, 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 cute. All right, the last thing I have here is I need to do my little sentiment. And for that, I have this. This is cut at 5/8 by 1.5 inches. Okay, I'm using the Beat So Very Merry, and that is from the Warm Hugs. I use that one from the Warm Hugs dies. I'm sorry, Warm Hugs stamp set. And I'm going to grab my Real Red ink. Yes, April, you need to get one. Those are not retiring, so you shouldn't have any trouble getting those. That is in the annual catalog. That one is a holdover from last Christmas in the annual catalog, the big one. Oh dear, let's try that one again. That talking and stamping is not recommended here at the Reed House. Let's try that again. Okay. Ah, much better. Keep my mouth closed. I get a lot more done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to use my scissors and cut up the center of the end of my rectangle and then cut into that end point from both corners, and it gives me a lovely little banner flag. And then I'm going to grab some more dimensionals, and this is going to go right on the bottom of my treat box. This is another treat that's pretty inexpensive. You can get a pack of like 6 of them for $2. So there is So Very Merry. And we're going to finish it off with some pretty embellishments, just like my friend Dori would like me to. And there are the holiday rhinestones, basic jewels. Okay, now they don't only have the red and the green, so if you have another color you'd like to use for a holiday project, they have those as well. I'm going to grab, I've used a lot of the red and green, but I'm going to go ahead and grab the red and green again and put a red guy here. And then I'll grab a green and put him right there. There we go. That is it. There is my day 11 treat box. So I hope you enjoyed that. Very simple to do. If you try it, let me know and post it on my group page on Facebook. I'd love to see how it looks. If it says low inventory, that means they still have it. So go ahead and order it. Okay? You don't want to order it even when it says low inventory. If it said back ordered, you can decide whether you want to wait. But low inventory, they still have a few, so go for it, April. I would go ahead and get it. So that is it for this evening. Thank you, girls. Dori will be back tomorrow for the 12th day. I will be taking a little break from my 3 o'clock Facebook Lives. So I will see you after Christmas. And we've got so many fun things planned for you guys in the spring with our new caddy. So stay on top of things, and we will be putting some more things on our Facebook pages very soon. Thanks again for all you do. You keep me inspired, and happy stamping.